Hello Gemini, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for January 2017. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year to all of you. Just a couple quick announcements before I get started. If you're interested in a private reading or you'd like to contact me, I'm going to post my website and my information in the information box below. If you're interested in making a donation, which is always greatly appreciated, I will post the link for that as well in the information box below. And I also wanted to let you know that I am going to be continuing to upload the 2017 overview readings. I haven't done so for all the signs as of yet. Gemini will be uploaded in the next several days. But it's basically an hour-long reading, and it covers career and finance. It covers romance for singles and couples. And it also looks at what's coming in as far as spiritual lessons or milestones that may be reached in 2017. It is $1.99 to view. However, I am going to be continuing to offer my free monthly readings as I'm doing today. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to be doing 3 separate spreads. One is general overview, and then the other 2 are going to be regarding love and romance for singles and couples. So let's see what the general messages for Gemini are for this month in January 2017. I think I have my cards upside down. All right. First card, 2 of Wands, the Hanged Man. Sorry about that. The 8 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the World, 2 of Swords, the 7 of Wands, the Tower, and the King of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. Well, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards. So, half minor, half major. Let me just look it over here. You know, I feel like some of you are fighting for a cause. I'm not sure what that cause is. It can be financially related. It can be work related. Can be at work. Maybe you're standing up for a coworker or a peer. But I feel like some of you are fighting for a cause. You're standing up for someone who's kind of been thrown under the bus. And you know that they didn't do anything wrong, or you know that they had the best of intentions, and so you feel like whatever punishment is served up is not adequate, doesn't fit the crime per se. That's for some of you. I feel like some of you are in a situation where you're kind of tired with what you're doing, where you're working, or the kind of job functions that you're performing. I think you're wanting to expand. I think that you're wanting to maybe even switch careers. I think where you're at, you're constantly defending yourself, or you're constantly having to prove yourself in some way, and it's getting very tiresome. I see you possibly considering changing careers or changing jobs. You're really, I think at the beginning of January, you're kind of looking at, where do I want to go career-wise? Do I want to stay where I'm at? Do I want to continue doing what I'm doing, and I think you know you don't. So you're kind of weighing out your options, and you're looking at what other areas are you interested in and where you want to move to. For some of you, you're considering a move. Maybe a move back home. I want to say for some of you too, this is just for a slight, probably few of you, maybe even just one of you, but there's something here about a house fire. So be careful with your electronics this month. I think it's going to cost a lot of money if I don't see anybody. Well, I can't say that, but it just looks like it's going to be very expensive to repair. And I think this house fire is going to be caused by somebody doing work in the home. Don't try to do electric work by yourself. Always hire a professional. I feel like somebody's going to try to do it on their own, and they're going to mess up, and they're going to cause some type of house fire. Let's see. There's, the overall energy being that of the Death card. It's all about transformation. It's all about beginning something new. It's all about, I really feel like the beginning of the month, you're looking at areas of life where you're saying, I'm bored or I'm tired. You're needing some change. You're needing something that excites you and motivates you, inspires you. And I feel like whether it's work-related or otherwise, you're feeling very bored with the mundane. And you're wanting to elevate yourself. You're wanting to either promote. I see you wanting to make more money. I see you working hard this month in January. But there's just a lot of contemplation about decisions, about how to proceed, where you want to be. I feel like a lot of you are focused on finances and focused on wanting to increase finances or work on, I want to say making money in an easier way. Like maybe not working so many hours, Sorry, I'm kind of stuffy, guys. Let's look at this more in depth with these Gypsy Oracle cards. I've had a lot of people ask me what the name of this deck is, and it's the Gypsy Oracle deck. You can find them on Amazon or in most of your New Age stores. Okay, this isn't the kind of deck that you probably find at like Barnes and Noble, but I think you could probably find it at Amazon or the New Age store. Sorry guys, I just had all of these cards flop out. So I want to look at, there's something here about new perspective, and I want to look at the Hanged Man here to get a better understanding of what that may be. I want to say too that if you, sorry, let me have my window open here. If you are inclined to do something, if you feel your gut or intuition is calling you towards something, follow that, okay? Because I feel like that's going to be very strong this month, and there's good reason for it, There's guardian angels watching over and kind of giving you advice and telling you what direction to look in. So let's look at the Hanged Man here. Okay, so with the Hanged Man, a new perspective, wanting to change whatever has been consistent, wanting to change whatever has just been as it's always been, realizing that maybe you've been doing things this way because you felt obligated. or because you felt contracted or obligated to do this. Maybe there's other people involved. Maybe it's a move, like I said. Maybe you want to move and you're really considering in January, I want to move. But you've got to talk to family, you've got to talk to your children, or you've got to talk to your spouse. But you've stayed where you're at, even though you're unhappy, because you just feel obligated to do so. Well, now you're speaking your truth. You're telling people what's in your heart, things that you haven't openly and honestly expressed before, maybe something that's been weighing heavily on you for some time. You're now opening up and you're telling others, this is what I need in order to be happy, or in order to feel successful, or in order to go after what I want, okay? I want to look at the Tower card here and see what this is about. Okay. So the priest talks about having faith in yourself, having faith in God, having faith in where life is leading you and the direction in which you're wanting to go. And we have some type of conversation here that takes place. Perhaps it's you, again, telling others where you're at, what you want, and there's a major transformation that's caused with this. And that's why it's on the Tower. Okay, it can be a sudden move. Can be you being honest with your peers or your boss and saying, look, I'm not happy doing this. I need a change of environment, or I need a promotion. I deserve a promotion. I've worked hard. Maybe it's you being honest with your spouse and saying, look, I don't want to work the hours that I'm working, and it may cause some disruption with our finances, and initially, but you're really focused on what you need to do to be happy. Let's look at the Death card. Excuse me. So we have some type of major transformation taking place with something that you're highly sensitive about. Okay? And it can be with a lover, or it can be regarding something that you once loved. And you have to be a friend to yourself or a friend to another and help them in their time of need. Remember what I was saying in the beginning of the reading, that some of you may be coming to the aid of a coworker or a friend who's kind of being thrown under the bus and maybe taking too much heat for something. You may be coming to their rescue this month. But for some of you, this is just saying that there's a major transformation taking place. You're going after something you love, you're passionate about. There is some high sensitivity in regards to this, but ultimately you're serving yourself and you're being your best friend first, which is what you should be doing in order to make this transformation happen. Because you're focused on, okay, I've taken care of others, now it's time to take care of me and what I want. So I think January is going to be very good for you guys. I do see some major decisions in January regarding how you want 2017 to look. Now let's look at single Geminis and what's coming in the month of January. Okay, yep, that's one card. We have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, the King of Pentacles, Strength, Three of Rods, the Eight of Rods, the Death card, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Rods. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Wow. Well, first and foremost, I think a lot of you single Geminis are going to be very focused on your finances this month. I don't think you're absolutely like looking for love. You know, it's not like that's the forefront of what you're focused on. I do see that you're mainly focused on your career, you're focused on advancement, you're focused on finances. So I feel like that's going to have the biggest that's going to be the focal point for you for January. I feel like for some of you, there may be an earth sign. That would be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Can be sun, moon, or rising sign. And they can also just be a person that embodies the characteristics of an earth sign. So this is someone that may be a boss. They may be financially very stable. They're a very grounded individual. They enjoy wealth. They enjoy showing that wealth depending on what kind of earth sign. Usually that's a Taurus. But I do see that this person could be coming in, I want to say probably middle of January. But I feel like initially either you don't realize that this person has romantic interest in you, or you don't want to engage in romantic situations with this person. You don't see them that way. And you know that you have to be honest with this person and tell them, you know, how you feel. But I think some of you will feel a little like, it might be a little challenging for some of you to just be forthright and honest and say, you know, I really don't have any romantic interest in you. For some of you, I feel like you're meeting this person at work. Or this may be someone you already work with, and finally they're coming to you and saying, I have interest in you. And they do this kind of unexpectedly. I mean, really unexpectedly. And it's kind of like you feel like you're on guard a little bit because it just comes out of nowhere, right? And you could tell that this person has planned whatever speech they're giving you, or they've thought about it, and you know, and then they come to you and they spill the beans and they just let it all out, and you're just kind of left in shock a little bit. So you feel a little on guard when you hear this because you're not quite sure how you should react. Again, I'm getting that feeling of indecision or wanting to kind of back off and not really knowing how to approach this with this person. Now, I will say for some of you, this could be going the opposite way. Maybe you have an interest in an earth sign, okay? And you finally let this person know how you feel, but you catch them off guard and they kind of feel kind of backed into a corner, and they're not quite sure, you know, what they should say or how they should handle this situation with you. I do feel like it's somebody, for a lot of you, I feel like this is someone you work with or you will be working with this month. It's like you finally decided, or they finally decided to approach this topic because it's been on their mind for a while. And it's not, I mean, it's not saying it would be a no, like, you know, if you approach this earth sign and they kind of were like, well, wait a minute, you know, I need to think about this. I'm not saying that it's a definite no, but I'm not seeing a definite yes either. I think it's just something you had to get off your chest finally and be honest about, or they to you. So it can go the other way too. I'm getting something about finally having the courage to speak up. Let me look at the Two of Swords here at the top, right here. Okay, so what it's telling me is there's some indecision about how or when to approach, because, you know, we have two opposites here. Either things can go really well with the Fortune card, or they can go really, you know, bad, and someone could be left feeling sad, sorrowful. And so this person or you have been waiting. Okay, that's why it's on the Two of Swords. It's about indecision. It's about not wanting to make a decision, not wanting to have to speak your truth. But with the Two of Swords, basically it's inevitable that a decision has to be made, because this woman, she can't do anything if she's holding two swords, you know. She has to eventually do something, drop one of the swords. So she has to make a decision. When she does, this is what we're seeing here, is there's a fear to let go, or a fear to be honest. But this is something that's been weighing heavily on them for a while. Let me look at the King of Pentacles. This is someone, I feel, that has money. Either they're a boss or they're someone in authority, but I feel like they're someone with money, okay? And they're very generous with their money. Or maybe you're attracted to them because of that. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not calling anyone a gold digger at all. But all I'm saying is, you know, this person is very independent and very financially stable. And they're very mature. And that can be attractive to some people, you know, because this is someone who basically has their shit together. You know, they're not going to be someone that's calling you up saying, can I borrow $20? No, but I think it's attractive that this person has a stable foundation, and they're mature, and they know what they want in life, and they go and get it. And I feel like that's the draw, or that's the attraction here. So if it's you attracted to this earth sign, those are the characteristics that maybe appeal to you. If it's the earth sign that's attracted to you, I feel like this is just saying these are his characteristics here. He's someone that's very generous with his finances, but he's also very stable. And the faux card here is that I feel like maybe when it comes to love and romance, this person can kind of act like their own worst enemy in a sense. Because for one, they're so focused on their stability. But for two, maybe they just haven't given themselves the benefit of the doubt when it comes to love. You know, they feel like they can do well in this area of life, but when it comes to love and romance, you know, maybe they haven't had that much success. And so there's a lack of confidence in that area. Okay. Let's look at this Seven of Rods. Oops, excuse me. Dropping some cards. All right. So the Seven of Rods is all about standing up for what we want, standing up for our convictions, maybe not backing down from a situation. And on that, we have the Thought, or the Thinking card. We have cheerfulness. Or I'm sorry. Cheerfulness. So to me, this card looks like celebration. And then we have despair. So I feel like when this person approaches you, or you approach them, like I said, initially there's this feeling of, you know, unsettledness, because it comes in so unexpectedly. I feel like it's really unexpected. And so it's kind of like you need a minute to think, or you need a minute to process. And I feel like you need time to really analyze it, or they need time to think about it. And whoever is doing the asking, again, we have this situation where it's like either things can go really bad or things can be really great. And they're kind of thinking, how is this going to end up? You know? I feel like there's pros and cons to this potential partner. I feel like you do see a lot of positive things, but then you see some things that maybe you're not so crazy about. So there's a lot of weighing the pros and cons and asking yourself, you know, is it worthwhile? But I do expect this person to come to you probably mid-month. So just be on the lookout for that. I'm going to move to the coupled Geminis. I cannot believe we are all still kind of sick here, and it's insane. We've been sick. Just got over a really bad cold, and then started feeling better, and yet we're still coughing. We still got the sniffles. So I apologize, guys. All right, couples. All right. So we have Justice, the Five of Cups, the Hermit, the Nine of Cups, Temperance, the Hanged Man, Ten of Swords. My goodness, guys, the Fool, and the Seven of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords, which is you. Alright, let's see what's going on here, guys. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. So this situation is, you know, 50-50 as far as how much of it is in your power, in your control. Well, let's see. And I don't see anything honestly bad. I think that there's some remnants of 2016, something in 2016 that maybe, I want to say for some of you this is health related. Like maybe you or a partner had health issues and it carried on into December and even maybe the beginning of January. But we see healing and we see new beginnings regarding health in January. Okay, so whatever is going on health-wise with you or your partner, I see you feeling better, doing better in January. Okay. For some of you, I have to say there's some type of legal issue maybe that you and your partner are dealing with. Maybe, I want to say that for some of you who are legally maybe still married and going through a divorce, I do see that finalized or coming, you know, the final aspects of it ending sometime in January. You know, it just says here there's a new beginning. There's a new beginning. And it's something you're very happy about because in the past there was some sadness. And there was a feeling of loss or grief. And maybe, like I said, some of you and your partner, maybe you were just going through some very challenging times. And it can be someone's health was questionable, or it was somebody's family, the emotional aspect was kind of rocky. But whatever the troubling times were, I see that in the month of January, you're kind of looking back on what you as a couple have made it through. And you're feeling very proud, and you're also feeling very thankful that you made it through these challenging times. And I feel like by the end of January, you're just kind of really honestly enjoying your partner this month. But whatever happened in the past has given you a fresh perspective on your relationship, and it's given you a fresh perspective on yourself in the relationship. Maybe you're feeling like I could contribute more, or I could do more, or I could be there more for my partner. And I want to be. I want to be more intimate, or I want to be more communicative with my feelings and my desires. But you're wanting to do something a little different than it's been in the past, because, whatever you guys were doing in the past, it's affected their relationship to the extent that it caused some grief or sadness, right? So now it's like we're doing things differently. If it's health related, you're going to be promoting your partner to a healthy lifestyle. You're going to be helping them, eat well, exercise. You're going to be doing it with them. If it's something regarding, emotional issues with family, you're going to be there to talk to your partner and work with them. Just see a lot of healing in this relationship, and I see a lot of spending quality time. Let's look at this more with these Gypsy cards. Gypsy Oracle deck. I want to look at the Temperance card in the center. Temperance. Yeah, I'm getting with these three cards, there's like a breaking free. There's a breaking free of something that weighed heavily on your mind in the past, something that made you feel trapped, something that made you feel limited. Now there's this freedom, there's this confidence in your relationship. So I feel like these three cards on the Temperance card is telling me there's newfound strength and new, stronger foundations being built on this relationship. Let me look at the Hanged Man, which is sitting right next to that Temperance card. Yeah, see, you're saying we can't keep doing what we were doing, how we were doing it, because we were lying to ourselves with whatever it was that you were doing. It needs to change. We need to say goodbye to it, and we need to change how we... This card talks about consistency and things staying the same. So I'm seeing change on the Hanged Man, new perspectives and change regarding something that was consistent. So it's having new habits, new traditions, new practices, saying goodbye to what's not working. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Gemini. Wish you a wonderful January, and I will be back in February. Much love and light, and God bless you all. Bye.